Here we go, back with the Justin Jefferson highlights. We back in the film room for week two. And in this game, we're looking at Justin Jefferson going up against the Indianapolis Colts. It's hard to see in their stadium, so for a lot of these clips, I already went through the game. I didn't watch the plays, but I just kind of looked at what the game was looking like, and there was light shining in their stadium, and y'all can see it right here, right here. So it's kind of hard to identify. So it's gonna take a little time to identify. Like I said, I'm watching these plays live. This is my live reaction. Um, and so if it takes me a little while to find where he is on the field, it's because it's lighting. But let's get straight into it. Second play of the game, 2nd and 10. And Justin Jefferson is down here. He's down here at the bottom of the screen, out wide. Looking like man coverage. He just ran a nice little crossing route. I'll play that back. Corner's not really jamming, so he has a free release. He just got straight into the cross. And the linebacker was underneath, so he wasn't really open. And Darius Leonard has good speed. That's number 53, the linebacker. So Justin Jefferson, he was pretty well covered on that play. We'll go into the next one. 3rd and 5. And Justin is up here at the top of the screen. One-on-one at the top. So it's looking like press man again. No jam. Got a free release. Ooh, like he beat his man. I'll go back. Press man. No jam. Safety came down. So there's nobody over the top. And he did beat his man. If Kurt gave him a chance, that might have been a touchdown. Got to get some contact on that man. Corner didn't jam him. He just ran right by him. But it's 3rd and 5, so I understand the situation. We'll go into the next play. 3rd and 7 on their own 5. They down 4, middle of the second quarter. The diamond formation up at the top, and Justin is his point man. I had to watch the clip because I didn't know if he was on the field or not. But Justin's the point man. And so typically, the way this defense is lining up right now, this would mean it is zone coverage. There's 3 receivers here, and they're in a bunch formation. But because nobody's pressing a point man, that would show that it's zone coverage. So that way, no matter how the receivers come off the line, and whatever routes they run, if they get crossed up, which typically in a bunch, you want the receivers to cross paths to jam up the corners. But because nobody is jamming this point man, that lets me know they're in zone. And no matter which way these receivers go, the corners will still play their zone, and it won't make them a difference which receiver goes where. If it were man, one of these DBs would be pressed up on this point man, and he would try to jam him. And wherever this point man went, that DB would be responsible for covering him. And the outside corner and the inside defender, whether it's a linebacker here, like we see, or it could be a DB or a safety here, they would be responsible for the guy that goes inside, and the corner outside would be responsible for the guy that goes outside if it were man defense. But the way they're lining up now would lead me to believe that this is zone. And Justin Jefferson is his point man. He runs a nice little dig. Was there? I mean, right here. I'll pause it. Right here, he's kind of in a soft spot of the zone. But Kurt looked like he was under a lot of duress, as you can see in his pocket right now. And it's third down, so you don't want to take this sack, which I think he does. And this is kind of a dangerous throw because Darius Leonard is a very good linebacker, and he can make that play. And then we also have the safety coming down. So it looks like it's open, but in a split second, this could turn into an interception by either this linebacker or the safety at the top. And so that's a dead play, and Kirk ended up taking the sack. So we go to the next play. End of the quarter, 1 minute left in the second, 1st and 10. Justin is right here in this slot. He has on all white cleats, and he has a purple arm sleeve on his left arm. He's in this slot. Man coverage again. Oh, no, it wasn't. He passed him off to the linebacker, but he wasn't really open right there. So we'll go on to the next play. Here's Justin again in the slot. It's for sure looking like zone. This defender, if it was man coverage, this defender would be manned up on him, and he would probably have eyes on Justin and be more square to Justin. But by this defender's body language, looking at the quarterback facing inside, not really ready to play man defense. It would lead me to believe this is zone coverage. And it is zone coverage. And so as we saw in the film last week, Justin kept running this route. So it's zone coverage. The defender's already pre-aligned inside. And so Justin Jefferson know he has a little sit-down route. And so he widens on his release because the defender's inside. And if he knows his zone coverage, he's going to sit here. So Justin knows if he's going to sit, he has to find open space. So on his release, he gets wide and he sits at the first down marker. Now, one thing I will say, if you can see, he stopped like right on the first down marker. I would tell him to get another yard, at least another half yard, so that way when he catches the ball, because 9 times out of 10, when the quarterback throws that little route, then Justin wants to come back to that ball to run through it. But if he does it, if he runs through that ball where he is now, he's going to lose yardage. But if he goes a little past the first down marker and sits down, so when Kirk throws it, he can come back through the ball, by the time he gets back upfield after the catch, he'll still be at the first down marker, and it'll be a first down. But I don't know his coaching points or anything. But other than that, he did a good job of releasing, getting wide so he can get some distance from the defender, just in case Kirk looked at him. And we will go to the next play. 3rd and 10, into the second. Really want to take a shot right here. Justin's at the top of the screen. Looks like man coverage. He got an inside stem. That was a weird route. That's a good route. I mean, it was definitely a first down. If Kirk gave him a chance. Look at Justin's route. He got inside, got upfield, sold to go. And if Kirk throws it to him as he sits down, this is for sure a first down. For sure a first down. But I understand they need to go deep. And they throw a pick. Let's find Justin. Look at him on the ball. Good job. Way to hustle. He's right here. He's right here. Way to hustle back. Good character. Even when the play goes bad. Good job. We'll go to the next play. End of the second. And Justin is right here in the slot. On my mouse. Right here in the slot. So same thing. Same body language from earlier. Defender's toes and hips are facing inside. His eyes are looking at the quarterback. He's not squared on Justin, which will lead me to believe this is zone coverage again. Justin gets up the seam, and they just throw a little dump off, I guess. Oh, no, that was a screen pass. All right, so we'll go to the next play. End of the second, 16 seconds left in the second quarter. Justin is in this slot right here. In the slot. Same demeanor. Defender's eyes, hips, and toes are pointed inside, looking at the quarterback, which will lead me to believe is zone coverage. Justin gets up the seam. Gets straight up in the seam and finds the hole in the zone. He kind of throttles down so the quarterback can get him the ball and safety. Good job. Secured the catch. Good job. And at the end of it was 16 seconds left in the second quarter. So a play like this is big time. He got past the 50-yard line, close to the 45-yard line. It's probably, 10 seconds left. I didn't see if they had any more timeouts. But that kind of play is big time. He got a good chunk of yardage for his team. And if they get another playoff, and maybe call a timeout or whatever, get out of bounds to stop the clock, the kicker is in really good position to at least be able to attempt a reasonable field goal. So that's good. That was a good play by Justin. Got up the seam. He could have for sure made it a little bit more safe if he throttled down closer to the 50-yard line. But he kind of kept drifting. And if he drifted too much or if the quarterback didn't see him on time, then these safeties would have came down and either smacked Justin or caught a pick. So he definitely could have throttled that down a little earlier. But the fact that they were still able to make this play allows the kicker to be closer to his field goal range, which is good. It's just a little risky, but high risk, high reward. And as you see now, hopefully they will get the reward out of this play. So that was a good catch by Justin. 2nd and 22. So they might be looking to pass deep, middle of the third quarter. And Justin is in this slot right here. So from the alignment and the body language of the DB, it's for sure looking like some type of man coverage. Especially looking at this outside DB, is for sure man coverage. He's already outside leverage, what would lead me to believe either this safety is going to play inside of Justin, has eyes on Justin, or one of these linebackers are going to play inside and try to stay over top of Justin. So everybody was manned up, but his defender passed him off. And he just ran a little under route. He for sure was open. 1st and 10, 8 minutes left in the fourth. They down 25. This is Justin in the slot right here. The video quality is super bad, but this is Justin in the slot. Oh, his defender blitzed, and he ran a little out. 2nd and 4, 8 minutes left in the fourth. They down 25, so they still have to throw the ball. This is Justin right here in the slot. Ooh, good route, good footwork. He didn't really get open, but two things. One, I always like when I see him break down and make these little moves at the top of his route because it throws these defenders off. Whenever they try to jam him at the top of his routes, he get a little shifty on them, and they miss their jams, and it gets them off balance. So if Kirk wants to find Justin, like in a split second, just throw the ball in there, see if he can get a first down, throw it low to the ground, see if he can fall, get a first. He has the ability to do that because Justin at the top of his routes is so shifty that the defenders don't have time to square him up, get hands on him, and either jam him or jump on top of him and beat him to the point of the ball. And so because of his shiftiness at the top of his routes, they can't do that. And so it allows him to have great short yardage routes because they can't get their hands on him. And when they try to jam him, they end up lunging and getting out of position to make a play or just completely falling, getting off balance. And so even though he doesn't get the ball, and even though this route is only 3 yards, he's still showing his ability as a receiver. And it's an ability that not all receivers have. And so it's something to definitely appreciate in his route running. But then I also like the fact that he saw Kirk was about to scramble. And if you look in the pocket right here, just look in the pocket, you can see Kirk is kind of rolling out to the right to get away from this sack, which ends up going down. But Justin, he sees him in a split second, and Justin flips his head to go out of bounds, to run towards out of bounds side for the scramble drill. And as we saw in week 1, every time Kirk got out of the pocket, Justin was ready to fulfill his assignment in the scramble drill. And he did it again right here. He's the only one that moved. This man is a rookie on this team, and he's the only one that went to the sideline to fulfill his duties in the scramble drill. Nobody else moved. And so even though this play was a sack, Justin didn't get the ball. His route was only 4 yards. He's showing little things that make receivers great. And we'll go to the next play. 3rd and 12, so they for sure throwing the ball. Justin's in the slot right here. Just gets up the seam. I still like the way he got across the field. Kirk was rolling out to the right, so Justin saw that, and he started running to the right immediately, to get some open space, just in case Kirk wanted to give him a shot and throw it deep. Next play. 4th quarter, 6 minutes left, 2nd and 1. They down 25. Ball on the 8-yard line. And Justin is down here. He's down at the bottom of the screen, right here on my mouse. He just ran a little stop. Outside stem, pushed upfield. Good catch. Way to secure the catch. Route wasn't too flashy. Got to the spot, broke down, and secured the catch. Good job. And that was it. So from this game, he didn't get as many reps as he did last game. There were a lot of plays that I didn't show because he was either not on the field or they would be in our formation with tight end on the field, and Adam Thielen was on the field at wideout, and they maybe Laquan Treadwell or somebody else was on the field. So Justin, he isn't getting the reps like he did last week, and so a lot of those clips aren't in here. But the clips that he did have and the reps that he did get, In my opinion, he made the most of it. There were also a lot of clips that I left out because he was maybe running like just little flat routes or stopping routes, or little shallow crosses that just didn't. He either didn't get the ball or he kind of jogged across the field because the ball was already gone. But as we can see from the few reps that he had this game, he's definitely showing glimpses of little things that make receivers great. And each week he's doing something new. So last week he was showing us his shiftiness and just his natural talent, and then this week he showed us his commitment to the scramble drill, which not a lot of receivers committed to, as we saw in that clip. Everybody just stood and watched Kirk Cousins scramble, but Justin was the only one that ran to the sideline to get open so Kirk could have an open target. So week by week he's building, and in the next video we'll see what he did in week 3.